This is a demonstration on the new drag and drop feature in D2L 10.1 that allows you to drag and drop files into the content area and also reorder files in the content area by dragging and dropping. So let's go over to the content area. And we need to click on Table of Contents. When you click on Table of Contents, all of your modules and files are displayed on the right-hand side. And you'll notice under each module, here's the first one, Getting Started, there's a dotted box that says Drag and Drop Files. So if I scroll down to my next module, there's another box to drag and drop files, and so on. So you'd need to find which module that you want to add your files to, and either use this drag and drop from the Table of Contents, or you can go to the specific module here. For example, if you wanted to add something to week 3, you could click week 3 first, then just week 3 is being displayed, and then you still have the drag and drop. So if I want to add files to week 3, what I need to do is I need to either drag from my desktop or from your folder, which you access using Windows Explorer. So you'll have your D2L window open, and then you'll also open your folder view. Or you'll minimize one of your windows or shrink it down so that you can view two windows at the same time, that they're overlapping. And you can resize windows. If your window is maximized, it would be full screen, so then you would click this to minimize it, and then you can resize your windows from there. Once you've found your files, in this case I want to put in a PDF of this teacher handout, and I also want to put in the Word version. So I can actually select more than one file here. If you had a whole list of files, you can drag and drop them all in at once. So I'm just going to move this slightly out of the way so you can see my screen behind. Once you've found your files, you select them. You can select more than one by holding down your Control key. So you click on the first file, hold down your Control key, and then you could just go through and click a bunch of stuff. Those are the two files that I want, and I want to drag them over to my window, my D2L window. So I just select them and then hold down my mouse button and drag, and then release my mouse, and it copies them in. I'll move this window out of the way. You can see what it'll do here over in D2L is it'll move them to the bottom of that content area. It will also give the topic the same name as the file. So if you bring it in here and now you want to change the name of the file, you can still do that. You would just need to click the little drop-down menu and say Edit Properties. And now you can click right on the title of that document or that content topic and edit. Remove words or whatever you want to do there. So this would be what's referred to as inline editing, where once you edit properties, you can change the name of the file. You can click down here to add a description, if you choose, to that topic. You also have access to whether a particular topic is published, which means it's viewable, or draft. If you switch something to draft, it's the same as in previous versions where you were able to hide or unhide either modules or topics. So in 10.1, you're setting it to draft or published, and you can switch that back and forth. And then if you needed to add restrictions, such as a start and end date or release conditions, you do that also here under the properties of that topic. Once you have your topics uploaded or dragged and dropped in, you can reorder by dragging and dropping as well. So perhaps you want this document to be closer to the top of your list. There's a little drag handle to the left of the file name. Looks like 3 little lines. If you hover over it, you'll get this 4-sided arrow. You just click on it and hold and drag it up, and it shows you where it's going to be placed. So you decide where you want that to be, and then once you're at where you want it, you just release, and you've now moved it. So you can drag and drop to reorder items within a module. You'll also notice in the left-hand side here, the table of contents, there's little drag handles next to modules. So if you need to reorder your modules, you can do that. These are pretty sequential, but if you wanted to move this module up, you would just drag it and then release where you wanted it to be placed. I'll just move that back. And the other place that you can use drag and drop is in the Manage Files area. So I'm going to go to my table of contents. And to get to Manage Files, you use the drop down next to Table of Contents and go to Manage Files. Once you're here and you want to upload your files, you can click on the Upload button, and now you'll get the drag and drop area. A final note is that drag and drop for adding files currently works in Firefox, Chrome, Safari, and Internet Explorer 10. Now most of you will still have Internet Explorer 9, so if you want to use the drag and drop feature for file upload, you will need to use Firefox to do that.